Imagine a cloud of chaos descending upon a crowd. It's not smoke, though it hangs heavy in the air. This is tear gas, a weaponized chemical, often deployed for crowd control. But its effects are far from controlled. Tear gas is a brutal force, turning peaceful protests into scenes of agony. Tear gas is not a single compound, but rather a family of irritating chemicals. They are officially known as lachrymatory agents, a name derived from the Latin word for tears. These agents are designed to incapacitate, to disperse crowds through sensory overload. But the science behind tear gas reveals a more disturbing truth. These chemicals don't simply make you cry. They trigger a cascade of reactions within your body, targeting your most vulnerable organs, especially your eyes. Tear gas isn't a gentle mist. It's a weaponized cocktail of chemicals, each ingredient designed to inflict maximum discomfort. One of the most common culprits is CS gas. Its scientific name is 2-chlorobenzalmalononitrile, a mouthful that hints at its complex and potent nature. Another common ingredient is CN gas, also known as phenyl chloride. Both CS and CN gas are solids at room temperature. They are dispersed as aerosols, tiny particles suspended in the air. This allows them to travel further and penetrate deeper into the respiratory system. These chemicals aren't found in nature. They are synthesized in labs, meticulously crafted for one purpose: to cause pain and incapacitation. The science behind their creation is a testament to human ingenuity, but also a stark reminder of our capacity for creating weapons of suffering. Understanding the chemical makeup of tear gas is crucial to grasping its profound effects on the human body. This knowledge empowers us to demand accountability for its use and to advocate for safer alternatives. Tear gas is designed to target the body's sensory system, particularly the eyes, nose, and throat. When these microscopic particles come into contact with your skin or mucous membranes, they bind to nerve receptors. This triggers a cascade of chemical reactions, leading to a range of painful symptoms. The eyes are especially vulnerable. The cornea, the clear outer layer of the eye, is densely packed with nerve endings. When exposed to tear gas, these nerve endings send urgent signals to the brain, interpreting the chemical irritation as a burning sensation. The body's natural defense mechanism kicks in, attempting to flush out the irritant. Tears flow profusely, but the relief is temporary. The chemicals in tear gas continue to irritate, leading to a vicious cycle of burning, tearing, and inflammation. But the effects of tear gas extend beyond the eyes. The respiratory system is also under attack. Inhaling the microscopic particles can lead to coughing, shortness of breath, and chest tightness. In severe cases, it can even cause respiratory distress, especially in individuals with pre-existing conditions like asthma. The initial impact of tear gas is impossible to ignore. The burning sensation in your eyes is immediate and intense. Your eyes water uncontrollably, your vision blurs, and you're overwhelmed by the urge to rub your eyes, which only exacerbates the pain. Your nose starts to run, and you might experience a burning sensation in your throat. Coughing and gagging are common reactions as your body tries to expel the irritant. Some people also experience skin irritation, with redness and itching in the areas exposed to the gas. These immediate effects are designed to be debilitating, to overwhelm the senses and make it difficult to function. The goal is to disperse crowds by creating a temporary state of panic and disorientation. However, the effects of tear gas can linger long after the initial exposure, leading to both short-term and long-term health consequences. Section 5. Short-term suffering, temporary impacts on eye health. The immediate effects of tear gas are undoubtedly agonizing, but the short-term impacts on eye health are a cause for serious concern. The intense irritation can lead to conjunctivitis, also known as pink eye, an inflammation of the conjunctiva, the thin membrane that lines the inside of the eyelids and covers the white part of the eye. Corneal abrasions, scratches on the surface of the eye, are another common complication. These tiny wounds can be incredibly painful and increase the risk of eye infections. In some cases, tear gas exposure can also trigger chemical burns on the cornea, which can lead to permanent vision damage. While these short-term effects typically subside within a few days to a week, they can be incredibly disruptive and debilitating. For some individuals, especially those with pre-existing eye conditions, the recovery process can be longer and more complicated. Section 6. Long-term scars, chronic effects of repeated exposure. The long-term consequences of repeated tear gas exposure are a growing concern, particularly for individuals living in areas where its use is prevalent. Studies have shown a link between repeated exposure and an increased risk of chronic respiratory problems, including asthma, bronchitis, and even lung damage. The eyes, however, remain the most vulnerable. Chronic exposure to tear gas can lead to chronic dry eye, a condition where the eyes don't produce enough lubrication, resulting in constant irritation, redness, and blurred vision. Moreover, repeated exposure can increase the risk of developing glaucoma, a serious eye condition that damages the optic nerve, which connects the eye to the brain. Glaucoma can lead to permanent vision loss if left untreated. The long-term health impacts of tear gas are a stark reminder that this chemical weapon is far from benign. Its use has the potential to leave lasting scars, both physical and psychological, on individuals and communities. Section 7. Beyond the clouds, broader implications and ethical concerns. The science behind tear gas is clear. It's a potent chemical weapon that inflicts pain and suffering. While often touted as a non-lethal alternative to firearms, its use raises serious ethical concerns. The indiscriminate nature of tear gas deployment means that bystanders, including children, the elderly, and individuals with pre-existing health conditions, are often caught in the crossfire. The long-term health impacts on these vulnerable populations are a major concern. Furthermore, the use of tear gas against peaceful protesters raises questions about freedom of assembly and the right to protest. The weaponization of chemicals designed to cause pain and suffering has no place in a democratic society. Section 8. A final word. Reflections on tear gas and human health. The science behind tear gas is a stark reminder of the power of chemistry, both to heal and to harm. While touted as a tool for crowd control, the reality is that tear gas is a chemical weapon with the potential to inflict both short-term suffering and long-term health consequences. As we grapple with the ethical implications of its use, it's crucial to remember that behind the science, behind the chemical formulas and physiological reactions, are human beings. Human beings experiencing pain, fear, and the long-term consequences of exposure to a chemical agent designed to incapacitate and control. The pursuit of justice and peace should never come at the cost of human health and well-being. It's time to demand accountability, transparency, and a commitment to exploring safer alternatives to this controversial chemical weapon.